With the protesters here, we have a Star Wars themed one, and I was intrigued by your button because you don't usually associate those colors with Black Lives Matter. Okay, that one I do, that flag right there, but you're obviously a Star Wars fan.
I am.
Which of the seven Star Wars movies that's made do you think is most applicable to Donald Trump?
Most applicable to Donald Trump? Oh geez, I'd hope it'd be episode 6.
Okay.
Hopefully Donald Trump can redeem himself at the end, and you know, let the right guys win. Okay, and what do you think? How about Hillary Clinton? Which hero of Star Wars do you think would be? Is she Princess Leia, R2-D2? I'm old school. Oh man, I think Hillary Clinton. I would say Luke Skywalker. You know, she's been around the ringer. She's made it to the end, and she'll be the one at the end. It'll be between her and Darth Vader, Donald Trump. So you compare him to Darth Vader, and you hope he'll be redeemed at the end. I hope that. I mean, I hope he'll be redeemed in the sense that he quits, and then everyone else can win. But you know, he leaves with some dignity. He doesn't drag it all the way down to the end, and make it really ugly. Thank you for your time today. You're welcome. Okay, another protester here saying "Love Trump's hate." What's your message? First of all, any message? There is a DNC going on, which is getting on more attention than this Trump event for obvious reasons. Any thoughts on the DNC? Not really. Okay. Did you have any thoughts on Bernie Sanders' departure early?
I did support Bernie during the caucuses, and I fully agree with both his message that the system is in some ways fundamentally broken, and that it's important that even though Hillary might be viewed as a tool of the system,
right,
to support Hillary because...
But she's really an outsider, right?
Not necessarily that Hillary's an outsider. I could spend a lot of time talking about why I wouldn't want Hillary. But
you down with TPP?
The Trans-Pacific Partnership?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so no, yeah, you know me, it's just no to TPP.
Actually, I don't know. I've not heard about your network before.
Was that? No. TPP is not our network. I was talking about the song by Naughty by Nature. You don't remember that? Early 90s rap song? You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. Okay, sorry. It was. See, I'm not trying to bring up rap too much like I did with you guys before. Any final thoughts that you want to send a message to Donald Trump besides that love Trump's hate?
I would just ask him why he's afraid.
Once more, because that person honked.
Why is he afraid?
Why is he afraid?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for your time today. Came in just a little bit too late to get into Eileen's countdown, but we certainly have some good graphics. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to show me your work. You made them all yourself?
Yes, I did.
Donald Duck. Is that how it's supposed to be pronounced?
Yeah.
Donald Duck.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Donald's got a lot of things to duck from.
Okay, don't let the Secret Service. Don't let the Secret Service see that one. Suckers. That's the Glenn Beck Cheeto style hair.
Right.
Okay.
Some from the GOP.
Woe is me. Well, a lot of people would agree. I think Donald would probably agree with that one. Herr Drumpf 9. That's. You don't like Germans, I take it.
That's his name.
Well, wait. But one thing though, are you making a comment about? There's been a lot of news in Germany this week. You're not making light of that, are you? What?
They would not want.
But you're not making light of the current events because it's been a tragic week there.
This is all directed at Donald.
Okay. Finally, oops, my bad. Now, the one thing people may say to that is Trump's symbol is a lion to many, not an elephant. But it's a. By the way, hold on. That's very good artwork, by the way.
Thank you.
Are you an artist?
I have been.
Okay. Thank you for your time today.
You're welcome.
See you all later. Adam Taxin, RSBN, with another one of the protesters whose message is Donald Trump doesn't like breakfast. I was a little intrigued by that one. It's not one we've seen before. What's the message there? I mean, nutrition's important. There's a lot of controversy with that. Are you a big breakfast fan?
Yes, I am.
What do you typically eat for breakfast?
Usually a piece of toast,
Uh-huh.
some peanut butter.
Whole wheat?
Yep.
Okay.
And an apple.
What's that?
And an apple.
Okay, an apple. You don't go with vitamin C or anything, though. Okay, we're going to do something different at RSBN now. We're this protester. What's your name again?
My first name is Eileen. That's
Eileen.
Aileen.
Okay.
My last name is Chang Mattis. That's
Okay.
CHANG hyphen capital MATUS.
Okay, and you were nice enough to agree to help pay tribute to the late Casey Kasem, and we're going to do a countdown of your choosing all yourself the top 5 signs here at this protest, and we appreciate that. We're just trying to make it interesting for viewers. And why don't we start off with number 5?
Number 5 is the one that diversity is America.
Diversity is America. Can we get the Diversity is America one up here?
I didn't actually make
Wait,
that sign,
you didn't make it?
but I really respect and appreciate how
Okay, we got it.
so many things.
Wait, let's get the list of the things on there. Top 5, we are not clones. Oh, that's an issue that hasn't come up in there. Okay, that's number 5 this week.
I also, another one of my top signs is a one made by a good friend of mine. Religious liberty is everyone's right.
Okay. Number 4. Okay. Now, by the way, it's interesting. Your name is Eileen because remember the song "Come On, Eileen"? That was a #1 song when I was 10 or 11 years old.
Not my favorite #1 song, but I
What's
want
your-
to tell
wait,
you
hold
something
on.
about Casey Kasem, whom you mentioned to me. Somebody who contributed a lot of good hours and listening time to Americans, and he's Muslim. I also
Is he Muslim? I thought he's Druze.
well,
Close enough. Okay. He's Druze.
enough.
He's
We
Druze.
are matters.
Wait, he's Druze. Casey Kasem is Druze. Well, you can Google this at home. But what is your favorite #1 song?
I don't have a favorite number.
But it's not "Come On, Eileen."
My
All right, now we're in the opposition here. We have a little bit of a protest. Very polite protest, but it is Iowa, so, you know, I guess imagine it would be a little different in New York. Okay, celebrate diversity, foster understanding. And I guess I should not put my finger in front of the lens.
That's an idea.
Yeah, okay. Well, that was very understanding. Thank you for understanding that. Okay, boy, it's Iowa. You guys are polite. But what message would you like to say in terms of celebrating diversity? Iowa is not necessarily known for its diversity.
I think it's underreported. Iowa is surprisingly more diverse than people give it credit for.
Okay.
I'm from the West Coast.
Okay.
I've lived in Iowa off and on since '93, and I've lived across the country, and it's a very understanding, it's a very warm place to live, where people are, as you said, very polite, and that's why
Very
we're
warm
here.
place to live today.
It is.
Actually, it's a nice breeze.
It's compared to a couple of days ago, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But we're here to foster understanding by both sides.
Mm-hmm.
We're here to protest the divisiveness and the hatred that the Trump campaign seems to have brought to the forefront of our political season.
Top 3 areas of hatred that the Trump campaign has brought. What would you bring?
Immigration.
Okay. Is that number 3 or number 1?
Oh, I don't know if I can put a
Okay,
place.
just give me 3. Immigration,
Immigration, bipartisanship,
bipartisanship.
and gosh, so many to choose from.
You can get back to me and interrupt another segment
All
if you
right,
want to do that.
That's fine.
Okay. Who wants to do it? But I'm not recording anyone with reflections in the window. Got to take the initiative and come out here. You got to come over here, otherwise there's too many. You know then they'll accuse me of inflating the number of protesters if I have you reflected there. Okay, we're gonna go with I am not gay, Muslim. You're not black, really? Trans or immigrant, but they all matter to me.
I work with young children,
Mm-hmm.
and I have heard young Muslim children especially, and I have heard several of them say that if Donald Trump is elected, that they're going to have to leave the country, and I've heard them talk about their grandparents having to leave and things like that, and the fear that has come about because of his statements, whether it's founded or not, it's
Right.
still a fear that these young children have, and they shouldn't be having to fear about.
Now,
these
where are the
things.
children? Are they legal or illegal?
Totally legal.
And they
Most
still
of them
fear.
are born here.
Okay, and are they of a
But
particular background or all
they're
sorts
Muslim.
of? No, I mean, but country
Pakistani,
Muslims all over the
yep,
world.
Yep, I teach at a small school that's at the Islamic Center here in Cedar Rapids.
Okay.
And we've got people from Lebanese background, Pakistani, Afghanistan. You know, they're from all over the world. Syria.
Yeah. Let me ask a question. Has there been a rise of Islamophobia this week because of certain snafus in Germany?
I don't know in particular this week. It's been rising. Period. In the 2 years that I've worked there, I've seen it rise significantly in the last, especially this last year.
Okay, thank you. Now what? Just out of curiosity, what group? If you had more room on the sign, would you have put in there? If you had room for one more, actually, you do have one room for one more. Jews would have fit in there, for example.
Well, you're right.
Asians would have fit in there.
But they kind of go. Well, the Asians.
I'm just wondering why you didn't use all the space in there.
Sorry, I was trying to be artistic and allow room for other things.
I saw you use the color blue. Is that because Blue Lives Matter?
Sure.
Okay, I mean, you emphasized the blue there. Well, that was thoughtful of you.
And
hopefully
I also
the police
think
will.
that diversity rocks, and love is love is love is love is love.
Is love is love.
A wonderful Puerto Rican man.
Now, are you saying rocks because rock is generally more associated with white, Jimi Hendrix, Chuck Berry aside, as opposed to diversity raps? Okay. Countries wouldn't have worked as a verb, but okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was not a slight to our black friends.
No,
okay. Thank you for your time today. Hold on.